It's time for the Roots and Roots Show with your host, Greg Rashid, bringing you history and music from the Black American diaspora. Greg and his guests' goal is to root the show's information in your psyche, providing you the roots to expand knowledge within your community. Now here's your host, Greg Rashid.
Well, Swati Cop to everyone out there. This is Greg Rashid, and that means, by the way, Swati Cop means good day, hello, in Thai. For those of you who may not know this, and this may be the first time you're listening to the show, based in Bangkok, Thailand, but a lot of people know that. They know I'm here. They know I've been doing the Roots and Roots show here for a number of years now, and I just want to say hi to everyone out there. Hi to my new friends in St. Lucia. I'm so happy to see so many people all over the world that listen to the program because you can do a lot of things with your time, but I'm so happy when I find out that a lot of people spend their time, just an hour listening to my show, and you can hear it everywhere, all over the internet, everywhere. You can just find it a little bit of everywhere from iTunes, Facebook, you name it, YouTube, you can find it. But a lot of folks, they listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time on KUHSdenver.com, created by the one and only, that Christmas spirit himself, the one and only Henry Archuleta. I want to say hi to all my friends in the Colorado region. And also, I wanted to cough there too. But anyway, we're going to have a great show as we always do. And we're going to be talking about today something I've talked about before on the show. We're going to get into a little more detail with my guest as far as her journey. But what I'm talking about is Reiki. And as some of you know, I am a Reiki master, been one for a long, long time. Got my training, got my certificate and everything in Denver many years ago. And for some of you who don't know what Reiki is, and Reiki is spelled Reiki. Reiki is a healing art. It's a spiritual practice founded in Japan in early 20th century by Mikao Yusi. And it is something, and and I hesitate when I say founded, it was like reintroduced by him because everyone has Reiki in them. You just have to open up those chakras and you can heal, you can do anything in Reiki as far as just opening up your life. Not only, because once you open up those chakras, you open up your life. And it's just something that I just have utilized for so many years. And there's so many of us that do. But the funny thing is, there are not too many African Americans, too many Black folks that actually do this that I've run into. But today, I have on my program the young woman out in LA who's a Reiki master teacher. And I'm just going to get into the interview right now with her. Just a wonderful interview, a wonderful person. So let's hear that interview now on the Root and Root Show. And I am so happy, as I mentioned that to promo the show, and I was going to talk about Reiki because I've talked about Reiki on the show before. But there's something that hit me as I was talking prior to having her on the air. I have never interviewed a Reiki master, a Reiki teacher, Reiki anyone on my show in
Hmm.
over 20 years of doing radio and television with this show, the Root and Root Show. So I'm honored to have on my program today a Reiki master like myself, but Reiki master based out of LA. And she has a book, Reiki Vibrations. She's been doing this for a number of years. And I just want to learn about her journey and how she became a Reiki master, how she discovered Reiki and all. And what I'm talking about is LT Hill. And I'm just so happy to have you on here, LT, and just happy for you to share your journey with my listeners.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be on the show. I'm so honored to be the first, and I'm excited to share my journey with everyone around the world.
Yeah,
Thank you for
definitely. Just happy that you've taken the time to be on the show. And like I said, I discovered you in because I'm a subscriber to Reiki Ray, which is on,
yeah.
some of you, I know a lot of Mr. saying Reiki Ray, what's he talking about, but it's online. Go online, Google Reiki Ray, subscribe to it. It's a lot of great information. And I saw you on it, and I said, well, wow, you know,
Mm.
because I rarely have to say this, and I have my own Facebook site. I have my own, blog and all that about Reiki and all, but I rarely if ever see any black folks doing Reiki. It's usually when I do, I see, women every now and then, black women, and there are a couple actually here in Bangkok I've discovered, but it's a rarity to see you on there and to see you, your vibrant smile and everything, and just see, and just see what you're talking about. And then I heard one of your heard you on somebody's podcast. I said, wow, this is somebody I gotta have on. Gotta, because you're just, because your enthusiasm, the energy comes out. And this may, and I have
Oh,
to say, listeners, this may be dangerous here because when you got two Reiki masters, there's
I
too much
know.
energy. It might
It is.
explode the airwaves. I don't know. I don't know. But so LT, just tell my listeners and tell us how you came about being a Reiki master. How did you discover Reiki? What's your journey and all that?
Well, it is a very spiritual one, which is definitely in line with my Reiki. Um, was diagnosed with rheumatic fever over 10 years ago. And if you don't know what it is, I know like a lot of people who do know, it's sort of like a childhood disease, like only kids
Right?
usually get it. But lately, a lot of adults have been getting it. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And but I had been diagnosed with it. It took a while for them to figure out what it was, and I went to this wonderful specialist in San Diego, who's Eastern European, and he practiced not only Western medicine but also alternative medicine. So he really was able to hone in immediately on what I had, whereas other doctors, and I went to like all kinds of specialists out here in
Right.
LA and Beverly Hills, they weren't able to do it. And I mean, it was just crazy. I was in a lot of pain. I had like heart palpitations. I could barely get out of bed. When I did, I could barely move. I was like, even just putting on clothes hurt, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I,
and isn't it amazing? You have to go to a doctor who's an alternative doctor who can
yeah,
diagnose you.
right. He did everything. I'll say his name is Dr. Alexander Schickman, because I tell when anyone is in like a lot of pain and they can't figure it out, or the doctors can't figure it out, I always recommend they go to him, even though he's all the way in San Diego. I'm like, go to him. He will figure it out. If he can't figure it out, he'll send you to someone who can. But I don't think so. I think he'll figure it out. And so far, he's been really great with that. And so I was in treatment because of that, but the treatment was extremely painful.
Right.
It was shots every like week and then every 2 weeks, and it was basically I had 1 week of what would be considered a normal life and 3 weeks of pain.
Oh, wow.
So for years, and I was just like, I just can't deal with this. So I remembered that I grew up with a lot of healers. I grew up with psychics. I grew up with people who practice alternative medicine
Oh,
and who,
wow.
yeah, being from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I grew up with a lot of those kind of people surrounding me. And in my house, like my family is very like gifted in a spiritual sense and stuff. So I reconnected with that part of me. And so I was trying to like use my own energy to heal myself. And because I was just like, I can't live the rest of my life in this kind of pain. It's
Right.
just too much. Um, Even just going through these like treatments, it's just like the pain of it is just too much. And so I was like going to bed one night, and I was meditating and praying, and I was just like, I was like, please just like let me know I have this gift. I know I can feel this power and I can feel this energy around me. Let me know how to utilize it to help myself heal. And I went to sleep, and then I had all these weird dreams. And then the next morning when I woke up, it was
Were
just
they,
like someone was standing.
you said good dreams. Were they like, were you seeing like purple lights?
Well, what
Was
I
that,
was seeing,
uh huh?
I was like a teacher. There was like this master with me, and they
Wow.
this person. all like golden and white. Everything, they just were, I don't, the whole energy and vibe was of peace, right? And they were showing me all these different classrooms and I was a student in the classroom, and they
Okay.
were just talking to each other and saying like what the my particular teacher, my one-on-one teacher, was saying to this other one who was obviously like at a higher level, what do I need to teach her? And that person, that being entity, told my master in this dream, she needs to learn everything. and and then I woke up and it was daylight, and it seemed like it was only 5 minutes past, but it was like a whole night, you
My
know.
goodness.
And it was a very like prophetic dream. And when I got up, and as soon as I woke up, all I heard in my ear was, "You need to learn Reiki." And I was like, "What is Reiki?" I had I had
You
no
actually heard my you heard that.
I it was just like we're talking right now, like someone just literally said, "You need to
Wow.
learn Reiki." And
Oh,
I had
that's
no idea what.
great.
So I went online immediately because I follow my spirit, right? So I went online immediately. I looked it up and I was just like, wait a minute, what? I wait, I grew up with people like this, but I never even knew what Reiki was. I didn't know people practiced it. I didn't know that they had businesses. I didn't know it was a thing. For me, it was like the laying on hands, like in the down south in the
Right.
spiritual, like in church, and only pastors did it. You had to be ordained by God in order to do this. And so I was like, whoa, wait, I'm going on it. I'm jumping on this. So I researched different organizations, and then I ended up, my spirit just connected me and told me to do ICRT, which is International Center for Reiki Training, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
I up immediately. I mean, it was definitely like in alignment because there was a class available that weekend that had space. I signed up. I took the class. I every when I was going
Did
through
you
the
do an
whole
online class or the face to face?
in person, I drove all the way out to Orange County. And for those who aren't familiar with LA, like Orange County is like, like over an hour or so away, and more in traffic is like 2 hours, three,
Oh, yeah.
depending. It could be crazy out here. And so, but
And
I
before you
went.
go on, I want to let my listeners know I'm talking with LT Hill, who has an amazing story. She's a Reiki master, has a site, her business is I Am Reiki Now. I love that. I love that. And the thing is saying, LT, is something, a key point that I have said for years to everyone, even before I became a Reiki master and all. But the thing is, you're saying that you listen to the voice in you. You realize how many people don't listen?
Yeah, I do now as a Reiki master teacher.
Yeah.
I do now.
But you listen. I mean, you listen, you follow, and that's something. That is so inspirational. But go ahead, talk more about your journey.
Yeah, so I signed up. I took the class. I became a Reiki practitioner two, one and two, right within that time period. And in the class, let me tell you, it was magical. It was it was like I found myself. I found my home. I found my purpose here on earth. I knew, like, when everything started, my chakras opened up, when the energy started coming down, I felt it like touching and cleaning and clearing out all this pain and trauma that I had. And then it just continued for a while. And I really just wanted to heal myself, right? I wasn't really
Right.
even interested in doing anything else other than healing myself. And as I kept going in this journey and with this energy, and I was just like, I kept having these dreams, and I kept hearing these voices saying, you need to practice on other people. You need to learn more about this. And I followed it. I had my friends come over. I started Reikiing them and helping them. I Reiki their dogs. I Reiki like any and everything I could Reiki. I Reiki coworkers. I did,
Oh, wow.
I did. And each time I did, there was a beautiful gift that was revealed to me. Like, I would hear like a voice that would tell me where the pain was on someone's body or what they needed to be careful of. And and by the way, like I never asked anyone to tell me what was wrong with them ahead of time.
I was
I
about
just
to
said,
ask you that because that's something I do also. I don't want to know anything. Just let's go and do
don't
it. And
tell
then,
me anything you don't want to
right,
know because gift is real and that I'm true and that I'm not trying to con you. There is no tricks. There's no nothing. This is 100% pure God energy, creator energy. This is 100% a gift and a present from above that I have been given and that I'm sharing because I was supposed to, and this is my journey here on earth. It's nothing other than that. So yeah, I never asked for any information ahead of time. When people start telling me, even my clients, I say stop. Don't tell me anything.
right.
I don't want, like, let's just see what happens on the table. Let's see what we're told and what we need to do because mine is obviously I have an intuitive ability, so I hone in on that. And so as I kept going back, as I kept going with my friends and stuff, they kept wanting to pay me. They kept wanting to do this. I was like, no, give it to charity, give it to charity, give to charity in your name, so we can put this good energy back out there and keep it
Right.
going. Eventually, I just kept having this dream about me having a business, and I kept hearing, I'm Reiki now, I'm Reiki now. And I was like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to start this business. So next thing you know, I started my business. I filed the paperwork. I did all the trademarking. I designed my logo and came up with my tagline from my heart chakra to yours. And I just, it just started going. It just started
Yeah.
moving. It was just crazy. I volunteered at a nonprofit and everyone kept saying, well, are you a Reiki master? And I was like, no, I'm a Reiki practitioner too. And they're like, well, if you're this strong in your gift now, I can't wait to see what you are when you're a Reiki master. And because I was going to stop again, I was going to stop being a Reiki practitioner too.
Wait a minute.
And then, but
Why are you going to stop? That's
I, I thought it was enough. I'll be honest. At the
wow.
time, I thought like I'm doing enough and I'm happy with this, but but again, the universe is like, no, this is not. We need you to do more. It was like, no, you have. And also, I wasn't interested in teaching anyone at that time, and so I
Oh.
figured like,
Mhm.
master, I'm gonna be a Reiki master teacher, so I might as well just. I don't want to teach. I just want to focus on this and blah blah blah. But no, the universe said no. I kept like I said, I kept seeing the business. People kept saying you should teach, you should do this, and then I kept having dreams about me now in the classroom teaching others instead of being taught, and finding people and people with gifts and offering them up to the universe, you know, and they were all like gems, like these people's spirits were these beautiful gems, and each time I would find them in these weird places and sometimes dangerous places in my dream and sometimes like just like really far away places, and each one would like have this special thing about them,
Huh.
and I would find them and I would offer them up to the universe, and they would flourish and grow. And so I said, okay,
So
I
you
see
would
what you're
have
saying.
dreams. Would you have dreams about people you've never met and
Yeah.
eventually meet them?
Yes.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what that's about. Yeah, I've gone through that. That's amazing. And listeners, again, you're you're just tuning in. I'm talking to LT Hill, and she is a Reiki master, and she has a company business called I Am Reiki Now, and has a book out called Reiki Vibrations, and you can hear and use the bad pun, the energy coming out of her. You can really hear it. The enthusiasm. I just like that. I just love that because Reiki will do that to you. Reiki will
Yes.
make you, you can't help it. You want to, there are many times when I just want to just come out and, just burst into the microphone and just go in and talk to everyone that I'm talking to online, on the air. So I can feel that with you. But go ahead, tell us some more about your journey and all, because it's really something. And I hope my listeners, you're really picking up on the message.
Oh,
Pick up on her
yeah.
message.
Yeah, please hear what I'm saying, hear what I'm not saying and what I'm saying. And because after that I immediately again once again in alignment, William Rand had for a long time had not done any classes in person in the United States at that time. And during that time, all of a sudden he had a class in Redondo Beach, and I was like, okay, I'm going to learn from William Rand, ICRT, blah blah blah. I'm
Wow.
going to be a repeater under him. And so I went and I got my certification for Holy Fire 3, Reiki master and teacher. And then I I again everything like I started writing. I started doing because I am a writer too. And so I started writing articles because I, again, a dream told me to like keep moving. You need to start writing again. I kept hearing you need to start writing again
Right.
because I had stopped start writing. And I was like, I don't know. Because I was writing sci-fi before. And I was like, no, you're writing
Oh,
about
you were writing
energy.
sci-fi, really?
I'm a sci-fi writer.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh my goodness. You have any
I am
books published on Amazon, anything?
I have Dollhead Corporation is my first sci-fi novel that I wrote.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
It's
I'm gonna
out.
check that out.
Check it out. It's very out there. I'm gonna tell you, like, you're either gonna really love it or you're really gonna like not understand what's happening and be like, I think this girl is crazy. Because my mind is like apartment of all these spiritual worlds and possibilities, and I put them in the book. And when I was writing it, I said, you know what? I'm writing this for myself because I love sci-fi and this is the type of sci-fi I like. So I'm writing for me, which is really like a Black Mirror episode because later
Oh my
on, years
goodness.
later,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is like my book. So,
I have to
but
get you back on here to talk about your sci-fi experience. 'Cause my goodness, I missed that in your bio. My goodness. Yeah, we
I don't.
have to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I didn't put in my bio, and I don't put in my bio. I had it initially at first, and then I was like, well, people are gonna get like too confused because it's so separate. So let me just focus. I was like, I just heard focus on the Reiki, sci-fi later. I was like, okay, okay. so so
And,
so yeah.
all my listeners know how compartmentalized my mind is. Obviously we're talking about Reiki today, but next week I'll be talking about baseball. We do a little everything on the Root Show, so don't be hesitant for if you feel people
Oh,
don't
great.
want to talk about something because there's always somebody that wants to hear, the whole story. So I'm going to get you back on to talk about this, but continue with your journey with Reiki now because this is really something.
So yeah, so then I got that certification and I started writing for various like magazines and stuff. And I actually had at that time I had my own blog on my online, and I was just like, you know what, let me just write for other people and stuff, other places. And then I started writing my book, Reiki Vibrations, with 33 meditations and affirmations because I'm so big on meditating and using affirmations within my sessions and giving it as homework for my clients because I want to keep that Reiki and that energy going even longer than that 1 to 2 weeks as it always goes. And I want to teach them how to utilize the energy around them, their own energy, to continue helping themselves so that when they come to me, they're coming to me because they really need to. I like to
Right.
give people tools without me. I've never been that person who's like, I want you dependent on me. I want you to be independent of me. I want to show you what I can do, what Reiki can do for you. And then I want you to use it in your life. And even though you're not a Reiki healer, you still have energy around you, right? Everyone is
Right.
composed of energy. Show you how to use your energy to help you. And then when you come to me, it's only because it's not enough, and I can assist in more traumatic kind of things to release from you, like old childhood wounds and stuff and prior life
Right.
stuff, or give you a path to succeed if we're talking about a life plan and stuff like that. So yeah, so I wrote that book during that time period, and then after the book came out, and in between that, I was told like, you okay, it's time to go even higher. I'm like, oh my God, what? How much more do you want me to do? And so I ended up being a Karuna. I took the class with William Rand again, and I said, okay, well, there's no more. That's it. There's no higher place to go than this. And then I Reiki Rays, they reached out to me. Maria at Reiki Rays reached
Oh
out to
yes.
me and
Hmm.
asked if I would start writing. And I know we talked about that, like you were considering writing for them. I recommend it. I love them. I love being able to reach out to my fellow Reiki healers and give them my advice on what I've experienced and what I've been shown
Right.
spiritually,
And
and
I,
some
and
tools.
I'm really thinking about it because looking on there, first of all, it's mostly, I would say 95% women, 95% women, which is nothing
And
wrong. Yeah. And then, as far as a black man is zero. And I think you're the only black woman, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Yeah, it's a need. It's a serious need out there for us to talk. So I'm really thinking about it. And you mentioned William Rand. I have to tell you this. I've retired over here in Bangkok, Thailand. But I'll tell you a little thing. One of the many reasons why I'm over here is that I do want to go to the Reiki. He has Reiki classes
mhm.
in Japan, and I want to
Ah,
go to there. I've been to
yeah.
Japan a number of times, but I want to do that. And I'm looking into the one next year because of the pandemic. It just ruined everything, as
Mm,
you know, as far as class. But I'm
right.
really thinking about doing that because I'm a member of his organization. I said, I should do this. I can do it now. And it'll be easy for me to get to Japan. It'll be no problem.
Yeah.
It's like you going to LA to Seattle. That's how it is.
Hmm.
So it's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
So I definitely am thinking about that, and maybe you'll go. Maybe we'll meet each other there. You never know. You never know. But I am really
Yeah.
thinking about doing that. But I want, one thing I want to ask you, what have you, because I really am enjoying, your journey and all, but what have you run up against? Because, we're dealing with something that a lot of people don't know about, not realizing that they have the Reiki power. We all have it in us. So just
Mhm.
tell briefly my listeners what some of the, some of the kind of the obstacles you have run up against.
Well, honestly, I hate to say this because I love to say this. Reiki has cleared any obstacle I've had.
Good, good. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, when it came to like starting the business and doing the paperwork, because I also have a legal background as I went to law school and everything. So that sort of went in alignment with, I know how to handle that. I worked for the government, so I knew how to do and to fill out the paperwork and stuff like that. So that was like not much of a big deal. I think the more difficult part is getting, honestly, my own people to get
Yeah.
involved and to really participate in this. Like I had I would say one of my first clients, and I love this about her, and we're still talking, and she's doing so well, and she's like amazing. She is a social worker, and she was like, Latanya, because, oh, by the way, Latanya is my name, but LT is what everyone calls me, right? So
Right.
um Tanya, when I saw you, you were the only Black person who was doing Reiki, Black female. And she's like, so I had to reach out to you. And she's a therapist. And so she's like, I had to reach out to you because I want to release my childhood trauma so that I can better serve my clients. And we worked together and everything, we held like the Reiki, like cleaned and cleared, and she released everything. But she kept trying to get more and more of our people, like, African
Right.
American, Black people, get involved because she is a Black female. And, but yet she'd tell them and they would call me, but they just would not follow through. and,
It's
and,
it's amazing. It's a
yeah,
I don't know if it's part of the like tradition. A lot of folks, because I was raised Baptist, and I think you were too, coming
yeah,
from that church, that black church tradition where something that's not related to, in their minds, the church. You don't hear your minister say it every Sunday. It's not in any spirituals that you know of. You ain't singing it in the choir or anything. It's something that's like, I don't want to deal with because it may be the devil.
it's true. Now
Yeah.
that, yeah. Yeah, that's a, you know what? Yeah, that's a block, I guess, that I've come up against. Yeah, for sure. Trying to like offer an alternative point of view and show them where this is God energy and that we all have it. Every single person walking on this earth has this energy within them because we are all connected to God and source. And they don't understand because they think like they've been, I'm gonna say it like, and you know, you can at me if you want, but
Right.
they've been brainwashed to the point where they feel like if it doesn't come from the pastor who's ordained, then it has to be from the devil. But it's not true. It is not true. I have seen it. I've been told spiritually, you know, that we are all connected. Every single person on this earth who is a believer, let's say in whatever religion
Right.
you are, you can connect to this creative energy, to this source, because it's for everybody. You are a part of it. You breathing, living, walking are a part of that energy. So it's around you. You can connect, you can utilize it, you can use it to your benefit, not
That's the
anything
point.
negative.
Now I want to ask, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm over here in a Buddhist country, but it's accepted. If they know about Reiki over here, India, China, you name it. These countries are aware of Reiki, and obviously Japan, because that's where it kind of like was reinvented more or less through the Reiki master there. But have you're mentioning meditation a lot, and I talked about this on my show when I went through it. Are you familiar with Vipassana meditation?
Yeah.
Okay, because I did that this summer, 10 days of
Oh,
silent meditation. And it's a
wow.
and the funny thing is that and you should, if you haven't done it, I really would encourage you because I've encouraged everyone. And the one thing they
Hmm.
tell you when you get there is that it doesn't matter, and you're around people, it doesn't matter if what religion you are, what faith, if you're atheist, it doesn't. You go through it, you experience it,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone comes out just whole, just different. And being a Reiki master, already and going there, it's like even boosted me even more so. And the funny thing I want to tell you this, and I said this to my listeners when I came back in August, is that they came, they asked me, they were aware I was a Reiki master, so one of the teachers there pulled me aside and said, "Well, we don't want you doing any Reiki here." I think I'm doing like Reiki mind, I'm gonna do some Jedi mind tricks. You're concentrating on the meditation only. Don't do any Reiki anything. And I said, I promise, I won't. I
Now,
won't do
how is that?
anything.
You know your energy, no matter what, is going to come out.
Well, yeah, I didn't say. I just said I won't. I won't do
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't mean I wouldn't
Well,
do any symbols as I was walking around, but I was just like, okay, I'll
funny.
be good.
Funny. Yeah, yeah, I'm really big on meditation because it's a part of, for me, it's a part of Reiki,
Oh
in
yeah,
my
it is.
Reiki life. Um, I went on. I mean, I have Reiki meditations on Insight Timer, and I think I was honestly the first person to start doing Reiki meditations on Insight Timer.
Wow.
And people, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like trailblazing. I'm trying to put Reiki everywhere and in every single aspect. I'm like trying to get like all my like social workers and doctors and everything that I know and people to like use it in their practice. I'm like very, very Reiki oriented.
That's the way you got to be. You have to do it. I do it everywhere. No matter if
Yes.
it's going to the gym, raking my food, as everything, water, all of it. You have to do that. But forgive me,
All
and
right,
I could talk to you all day. I really want to, I got to get you back on again. But what is the one message? Because I know one thing. First of all, that you're, just the testimony is an inspiration. But what is the one message you want to get out to my listeners today?
I really want people to just really open up to what's around you energetically, to even if you're not going to go the Reiki route, although I would love for you to, then just open up and be positive about what's going around you and don't see life's challenges and the pains and struggles that you're going through as something that is a negative that will stop you, but see it as an opportunity to grow spiritually and to rise above and to open up being your authentic self, which is what Reiki does for people, and really focus in on how you can overcome and be a better person in a particular situation that would be challenging for you, and not let other people control and guide you, but you control and guide yourself.
That's it. That's the whole point. Now, if anyone wants to reach you, give my listeners everything, the website, everything.
Okay, so my website is I'm Reiki Now, which is www.imreikinow.com. I'm Reiki Now, one word.com. And my email is the same. I'm Reiki Now, IMREIKINOW @gmail.com. My phone number, because you can text me, is 323-427-3001. And I'm on
Say the phone number again. Say it again.
3-427-3001. 3001.
All right. Great.
Definitely.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. And I'll say, I'll leave with one little bit. Like, I actually, again, my gift, I actually have started creating my own Reiki style, which is Ka Reiki, and it's moving into like the spiritual part of the Reiki so that people can really hone in on their gifts and focus on how to utilize it as it integrates with the energy around you to help you assist others and yourself. And I've started teaching some of my students and people not just the Holy Fire 3, but Ka Reiki too.
Wow, that's really something. We're going to have you back on here again. I want to thank you so much, LT, for being on here today. I will, we'll be talking a lot. I'm going to have you back on. I'm going to look at your science fiction book, and I just, that also. So thank you so much. Look forward to having you on again. You take care. You have a great rest of the evening, man. Because as you know, I'm talking to you in the future. So thank you so much for being on here today.
And thank you so much for letting people know about my book too. I appreciate that. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You take care. And I really enjoyed that conversation with LT Hill. Just a wonderful person. It's a joy to talk to her. And please check out her website there and just learn more about her. And like I said, it was a joy talking to her. And speaking of joy, I've just discovered, and she's been around for a couple of years now, but I'm just discovering the next artist who I'm going to play right now on my show. Samara Joy. I had never heard of her until this week. I can't believe that. But she is like, her voice is incredible. I mean, it's just something. I'm going to play a cut from her new CD. This is Guess Who I Saw Today. This is the classic Nancy Wilson song. But she does it in a way, oh man, you just have to hear this. Let's hear Samara Joy on the Root and Roots Show.
You're so late getting home from the office. Did you miss your train? Were you caught in the rain? No, don't bother to explain. Can I fix you a quick martini? As a matter of fact, I'll have one with you, for to tell you the truth, I've had quite a day too. Guess who I saw today, my dear? I went in town to shop around for for something new. I thought I'd stop and grab a bite when I was through. I looked around for some place new. Then it occurred to me where I had parked the car, there was a most attractive French cafe and bar. It really wasn't very far. The waiter showed me to a dark, secluded corner, and as my eyes became accustomed to the gloom, I saw two people at the bar who were so much in love that even I could spot it clear across the room. Guess who I saw today, my dear? I'd never been so shocked before. I headed blindly through the door. They didn't see me passing through. Guess who I saw today? Guess who I saw today? Guess who I saw today? I saw you.
confidence and trust. There's some things that you don't do. There's some things that you must. But hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything that you do. Hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything about you. People try to tell that we're too young. They say love won't work out for her. No, no. But what they don't know is we've got love deep in our soul. Hey, God will bless our love. Shower it from above, yeah. I'm gonna treasure your love. Hey, girl, yeah. I really do mean it. Oh, don't change. Don't change. Baby, don't change your love. Don't change. Hey, little baby, don't change your love. Hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything that you do. Hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything about you, baby. My sweet darling. We got love. Hey, lady. And we're gonna work it out, work it out, work it out. Hey, lady. Hey, lady. Hey, we're gonna work it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything that you do. Hey, lady, don't change your love. I like everything that you do, baby. Why do I have to say it? We've been here before. No way for us to fake it. But there's something here, you know we can't ignore. They take their time without people on the line. They count us out like their nickels and their dimes. All talk, small talk, empty talk, 'cause we know what's ours is ours. Not that even. How long is it gonna take us? 'Cause there's way too much at stake. You know, things love to break us, and turning on each other is all that it would take. You take your time without people on the line. You count us out like your nickels and your dimes. All talk, small talk, empty talk, 'cause we know what's ours
right, the one and only Brian Jackson. That's his new one, An All Talk. And that's the Brian Jackson that used to perform with Gil Scott Heron way back when. And before that, we did Willie Hutch, the classic I Like Everything About You. And then we played the Matthew Shipp trio, and that was A Mysterious State. I gotta get Matthew back on here because he's a boxing aficionado like me. He was on the show over 10 years ago. I gotta get him back on. And we started the set off with the great, the one, the only, if I can find it, Samari Joy, and that was Guess Who I Saw You With Today. And I'm just happy to do that music today on the Root and Root Show. I hope you enjoyed the music as well as the interview with L.T. Hill. Please check out this superb person. She'll be back on the show again. Reiki master teacher, just a wonderful person to talk to. Hope you enjoyed that interview. But we got to get ready to get out of here now. So this is Greg Rashid again. Go in love and go in peace. And also, as I always say, know yourself. Because you don't know yourself, you can't help anyone. You can't do anything till you know yourself. So we'll see you next time on the Root and Root Show. Help somebody in your community, especially a senior, a young person. If you can buy a tablet, computer, or laptop, anything for a young person, because there's still a lot of folks, a lot of young people are in school now. Pandemic's going on around the world still. A little bit of it's still going on here in Thailand. So do what you can do. But go in love and go in peace. We'll see you next time on the Root and Root Show.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. And remember, spread the knowledge, share the power.